have been procrastinating doing this since so long, since I got all of those 26 books from the Bookish Santa book fair. I look at my bookshelf and I do not know what's going on because everything is messed up. Since I started getting so many books, I have not cared about which book is going where. It has always been more about, oh, it should look pretty, and oh, it has to fit in the shelves. Plus, it has been 8 months since I did this last. I did this in the beginning of the year, so I was like, oh my god, you know what, it's time to do this again. It's time to unhaul some books, make space for some new books, remove the books that I did not really enjoy, and set up my bookshelf in a way where I will have space for the new books, and I only have the books that I really love. Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing very nice. I'm sending a lot of hugs and positivity to all of you. Hi, if you're new, welcome to the channel. I really hope you enjoy the content, and if you do, please do consider subscribing. Though I have no idea what I'm doing here, so along with setting my bookshelf, I am also going to be answering some of the questions that you guys have asked me. I thought this is a good amalgamation of two things which could not be a video in its own. So I'm being smart here, making sure that I'm making content where you are spending your time and not thinking like, oh my god, what am I watching? I want this to be completely fun for you. I asked you guys to send me questions on Instagram and on my YouTube community tab, and now I'm going to look at them and I'm going to answer a few of them. I'm just going to select them mostly randomly, or if you guys have asked the same question again and again and have not seen these questions before, I was going to screenshot all of the questions that I do want to ask in this video, but I was like, you know what, if I do that, I will already know the answers in my head. I will be formulating the answers and I don't want that, so I'm just going to go into this completely blindly. Now if I could just tap on my phone easily and just find out where the questions are, I would have already started instead of blabbering. Okay, here we found it. How much did you get in your 10th, 11th and 12th? I don't remember each score specifically, but I do remember getting above 90% in each standard. Except 11th standard I had already sort of started doing other social service work, and I was studying Sanskrit and Gita at that time, which is why I did not get a lot of time to do school work, and I was doing, what do you call it, like external schooling, distance schooling, whatever you call it. So I did not get a lot of time to study, and so I just got minimal marks in 11th. I did pass though, that is what I remember, but again in 12th I did get good marks, and in 10th I definitely got like 96 or 98%. I mean, I don't know what the percentage was, but it was like a GPA system, so I think I got 9.6 or 9.8. Even then I cried a lot when I got my 10th CGPA because I was like, oh my god, I'm such a loser for not getting 10. Now when I look back at it, I'm like, Anchal, what were you thinking? 9.6, 9.8, you are a genius. So yeah. Next up, would you like to color your hair in the near future or nope? I actually did color my hair last year, and it took so long to get rid of it because like my hair had to grow out, and it looks really cool in the beginning, but then it gets really boring at a certain point. Plus when it comes like really low, it's really annoying, so I'm probably not going to color my hair. I like my natural color a lot. Next up we have, hey, what do you do apart from making videos? And I see that a lot of you guys have asked what my other income sources are, whether I do something else except this or not, and the answer is I do not currently. As in, I do some things here and there, and you know, I get gigs here and there. Like, it is all in the bookish industry itself. I'm not doing anything outside the bookish industry. I may do it probably by the end of this year or something, just to like try new things, because I think I have been with books since so long. Maybe there are some other things that I do enjoy, but I have not explored them because I just never got out of this bookish industry. I may try something new, but right now I'm only doing this, and this is my income source, and I don't make the highest amount of money. I am not a very rich person, honestly, but I do make enough to just like have a good time, buy some books, go for coffee and enjoy my life, and that is what I want right now. Now someone is calling me. Hold on. Hello. I'm sorry, I'll have to cut the call. I'm shooting and the light is going. So yeah. Next up, hey Anchal, how do you deal with things when there is too much to deal with? How you deal with your emotions and get things done? I shut down sometimes. So I shower, clean my room, because cleaning my room and having like a good, healthy, like clean space around me really helps me a lot. My Guruji, who was teaching me Gita and Sanskrit, told me when I was like what, 15, 16, that a clean space is equal to a clean mind, and that sort of stuck with me. So every single time I feel messy up here, I try to clean my room, and I feel a little better after that, and then I shower, and then I sit and I watch movies or something, and then after that, when I'm exhausted after watching the movie and I'm like, you know what, I am bored of these distractions, I really want to get to what is going going on, the next thing I will do is take out my journal and pour things out. There is no structure as to how I journal at that time, and after that, when I see exactly what is going on in my mind, it becomes easier because then I am very clear about what the problems are, and if it is something that I can control, if it is something I can't control. I do have a problem where if I'm not controlling something, if I don't have influence in a certain situation, I do not like it really pisses me off when I don't have any say in what is happening in my life sometimes. So I have to deal with that, and apart from that, I cry, I take therapy. These are the things I do when it comes to dealing with a lot of things going on at the same time. Plus, planning helps me a lot when I have emotions that I'm not able to deal with, but at the same time I have a lot of things to do. I don't know now if this is good or not, so don't take my word for it, but this is what I do. I make a list of all of the things that I have to do, and I sort of get to doing them. That means that I'm instantly being productive, instantly I'm doing something and getting the result, and that helps me a lot with the overwhelming feelings, and that is how I deal with it. What's up, Anchal? I'm 25 years old, haven't done much in life. If you would suggest to give 10 rules to have a satisfied life, what would that be? That's a very interesting question. I am 24, but 10 rules to have a satisfied life. I am no expert, but right now itself, the answers that I can think of, like the first 3-4 points, is just doing every basic thing for your mental and your physical health, which you can do. So for your physical health, eat right and exercise. It is so insanely important to eat right and exercise. That helps a lot to have a satisfied life. And then thirdly, we have journaling for your mind and meditation, if meditation is something that serves you, and if journaling is something that serves you. But apart from that, also just practicing gratitude. These things are basic requirements of human existence. That is what I think. And hydration, like once your physical and your mental health, you're doing everything you can and it is good, even though it does not fix every single problem in your life, it does help you to be better equipped to deal with what is coming up. And the happy things that happen in your life, you just become more absorbent of those happy things, and you're able to be more satisfied and be happier. I know for a fact that if I am feeling physically ill or mentally I'm not in a good place, like getting bookmates is the happiest thing in the world, but in that phase I will not enjoy the bookmates that I get. And this is a very tiny minor example, but you can imagine what will happen. So those are like the first 4-5 rules, just doing basic things that are important. The 6th rule would be to find something that you genuinely enjoy for no reason at all and sticking to it. For me, it is reading. I have no reason as to why I like reading. I don't know why I like buying books, and I don't know what it does to me, but it just makes me feel so happy that I do it. So just try to find something like this, something that you're passionate about, which takes a lot of time, but you can find it if you try a lot of new things. Sharing love with your loved ones, spending time with your loved ones as much as you can, that helps a lot with having a satisfied life, like in my mind. Next up, make a lot of money. Not a lot of money, but yeah, I mean, if you have goals and if you think that there are some things that you want to do and you decide, oh, this much is the money that is required for it, do have hobbies or passion, or even if they're not hobbies or passion, but like do have ways to make good amount of money for what you want to achieve in life. Don't just neglect it. Wow, the sun is coming up crazily right now. Don't be like, oh, I'm not a money person, so I don't care if I don't make a lot of money. Whatever it is, whatever money you require to fulfill your dream, make that money. Money is good energy if you make it in good ways, and having more of it in your life is actually a very good thing and will help you to live a satisfied life. Now, I am in no way saying that money is the only thing that will help you, but it will help you for sure. Oh, this is a very interesting question. What was your life before getting into reading books? I have been a very academic student, like an academic person, since I was very, like, extremely young. Since I was 3 years old. For books, I was young. I actually got into reading books pretty young, like as a teenager. But being young also brought a lot of, first of all, studies. Second of all, my mental health was not the best when I was not reading. That is something that improved a lot with reading. This is going to sound so romanticized and funny, but it has felt like reading was the missing part of my life. And once I found reading and books, I have been feeling complete. I just feel so satisfied sometimes that it is difficult for me to get out of my books and try something new, even though I do want to try something new, because I'm just so happy here. I'm so happy with the books. Books always bring me happiness. Cleaning them, buying them, reading them, talking about them, everything, it just makes me so happy, even though I did not know it at that time, was missing because I did not have something that I'm passionate for. Hi Anchal Didi, I want to ask you that is it okay to have crushes when you're a teenager, and will it affect studies, and recommend a book with something like this? I cannot recommend you a book with something. I mean, I can actually read Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. That will be like the perfect book. Wow, it is sunny and it's raining. This is crazy. Alrighty. Yes, I was saying that you can read Radio Silence by Alice Oseman because it's all about the sort of confusion you can face when you are a teenager and with relationships and crushes and all of those things. I would say it's completely normal, honestly, to have crushes when you're a teenager. Does it affect your study or not? It does. It actually does. It affects your studies, and it affects your life, and it affects the way you think, and it affects the way you do things in school. It affects a lot of things, but I'm not saying that it's bad that it affects your life. If you see that it is affecting your life and you accept that it is affecting your life, then you will gain clarity how it's affecting your life. Is it affecting your life in a good way, or is it affecting your life in a bad way? Sometimes having a crush, it actually motivates you to do more in your life and perform better in studies and be just like, you know, giddier and happier in your life. Sometimes it affects you in a way where you don't study enough because you are so distracted by having a crush. So it does affect your life, definitely. But if you're being honest with yourself, and you're a teenager, so you are smart enough to sort of just be honest with yourself, how is it affecting your life? If you journal about it, or if you talk to someone about it, and you accept that sometimes it does not affect your life in the best way, and it's affecting your studies in the wrong way, and you're able to limit its effects into your life, you're good to go. I think having a crush in your teenage years teaches you a lot, because as you grow up, you are going to start having feelings for other people. You're going to start falling in love. There are so many things that happen, and those things also affect your life. So as a teenager itself, when you have a crush, you can learn so much from that experience as to what you want, what you don't want. The love you have for yourself comes first. You come first before anything else. Your success and your happiness and your love for yourself, all of those things comes first. So try to prioritize them while having a crush. And if your crush is a truly amazing person meant for you to have a crush on, they will actually support it when you behave like this, and they will love you for it, for prioritizing yourself on top even before them. Okay, now I'm going to remove these books. Basically what I'm doing right now is I am just setting these books by genre. I've already set all of those books by genre, so I want to take out these books, put them into genres, and then divide them by read and not read, and then set it in a way that I'm able to see the books that I have not read, but also in a specific genre, because genres have mixed up a lot and my head just is mixed up because of that. So that is what I'm doing. I have left those shelves completely, though I will see the books that I don't want and remove, but I'm not removing books from those shelves because they're perfectly fine, and one shelf over there because it's perfectly fine. I'm just going to be resetting these 3 shelves and the 2 shelves over there so that I'm able to divide the books by genre. I'm going to put the books that are already separated first and then separate them more, because everything is falling and everything is going to get mixed up. Then what's the point? I'm probably going to look ugly throughout this video. Now some questions from Instagram. If you were not a booktuber, what else will you do in your life, Anchal? I don't know. I still have to figure that out. How you became a booktuber? What's the process for others to do the same thing? You guys, becoming a booktuber is the most difficult thing it's the best, like the most rewarding thing ever, but at the same time it's very, very difficult. I became a booktuber because first I started on Instagram, and I started like when I was a teenager or something, because I just started reading books and I wanted to talk about them, so I would post 1-minute reviews on Instagram. And then I think after I was on Instagram for like 2 years, I started with YouTube in probably COVID time. During quarantine, I actually got serious about YouTube. Before that I was posting videos, but it was just like the sun is really coming on on me. I would just post whatever I was anyhow posting on IGTV, and then in 2020 I was like, you know what, I want to make serious YouTube videos and I want to have a schedule, and I want to do this really bad. So I started doing it. It went on really good in 2020 for some time, but then in 2021 the first half was horrible. We got COVID, my entire family, we got COVID. My mom had to go to the hospital, and as before that my daddy had died and that was going on, and then after we got COVID, shit happened, and 2021 was not the best year at all for me. After that we had to move out, like a lot of things. So in 2021, even though I was a booktuber, technically I was not posting a lot, but then in 2022 I got serious again, which is last year, and I think I have seen, like, I have made genuine content in 2022 and in 2023. That is how I became a booktuber. If you're asking me what you guys can do to be booktubers, first of all, don't be like me and just jump into this straight. I decided that this is going to be my career and I got into it. As proud as I am of myself for doing that, because I do believe in myself enough that I am going to stretch this out and I am going to be one of the biggest booktubers in India and have fun and read as my job. The job does not pay a lot in the beginning, at least. It does not pay. It sucks how much it pays, because even I think that with the numbers that I have, brands would go ahead and collaborate with other creators in other fields, but brands do not collaborate with booktubers. Booktubing in itself is not very popular in India, which sucks, but it is how it is. So if you have a side job, or if you can do this as a side job and start it as a hobby, more as a hobby, you should do that. 1, 2, booktube is all about the kind of books you want to read and the books that you want to talk about. So the main thing over here is to celebrate the joy of reading. Please don't just like buy a lot of books because you think that that is what is required to be a booktuber. It is not. I always, even like since the beginning, even though I do go and buy books from bookstores and stuff like that, I always have a budget as to what I have to spend on books, and I only spend that on books, because buying books is not booktubing. Reading books and talking about it with the passion that you feel is what booktubing is about. So that is the second thing. And third thing, it is, as I said, a difficult job, but it is the most rewarding job ever if you do stick with it, and if you are able to see what your personality is like, if you're able to discover your personality and you're able to show it off even more, and you're just able to be yourself on camera, people will connect with you. Like you guys connect with me, and you will grow as a booktuber and it will be fun. I basically started with booktubing because books have just like totally changed my life. Like genuinely, reading books, especially like buying books, yes, it has always made me happy, but reading books, certain books, it just changes the way I look at the world, and I can't not talk about it. It's just, it's too inherent in me. It's just too much in me. I have always wanted to be with you guys. Basically, I've done so many things since I was a child. That's the reason I decided to become a doctor. That's the reason I decided to do social service. And then I landed on this, and I was like, you know what, if I'm able to recommend one book to you guys and you read it and you're like, okay, that has inspired me so much, that is it for me. That is basically what I want to do, which is why I read so much and I tell you guys about it. And I want reading to change your life like it changed my life. And even if you're reading books that are not completely life-changing, just be a comfort in your life. And when you read books that I have recommended, I feel like I am there with you. What have you studied in college? I'm in 12th and I love your work. I was a humanities student in 11th and 12th, which is art, because I did not care about school, if I'm being very honest. I just wanted to get through school. I wanted to be done with it and go to college, and I wanted to do journalism in college, and so I took arts. Then I did journalism in college, journalism and mass communication for 2 years, and I dropped out in the 3rd year during COVID because it sucked basically. Like it genuinely sucked. The experience, that place, everything sucked. So I dropped out. How do you manage with anxiety and frustration when your heartbeat is high and you're not able to breathe or stuff like that? In that moment, 6 seconds of inhale, 6 seconds of hold it, 6 seconds of exhale, and 6 seconds of holding the exhale, and then repeating the process. Because once your physical body is feeling good, it is your logic side of your brain activates, and then you're able to look at things from a clearer perspective. So that is the first thing to do. You can also take cold showers, anything that grounds you. You can sit and meditate, or you can talk to someone. Those are the things that I do. And then when it comes to dealing with like a lot of frustration and stuff, there is something called emotional catharsis. So you do things that are cathartic. Exercise is that for me. When I go to the gym and I lift like really heavy weights, there is a physical way of me releasing all of the frustration and the anxiety that everybody has built in them. And once that extra energy is out and you feel calm and relaxed, that is when you can look at things from a clearer perspective. So do that emotional catharsis. People go to run. Sometimes painting is also a way. Journaling and stuff, obviously, but that is not like the instant thing to do when you are frustrated, or like I don't do it instantly whenever I'm frustrated or anxious. Like I don't have the patience to sit and journal at that time. But yeah, that's how I deal with anxiety and frustration. How do you read 3 to 4 books in a day? Suggest me some tips so that I can follow them too. I don't read 3 to 4 books a day. I read 3 to 4 books a week, yes, but that is because it is my job. If it was not my job, I would not be reading this much. I would be doing my job. So it is completely unrealistic. Even like though I read so many books, I'm telling you this, it is completely unrealistic to expect yourself to read 3 to 4 books a week or 1 book a day. You guys, I do nothing else except like sitting on the bed and reading because it is my job. A fitness influencer or a fashion influencer, they have a lot of clothes. Fitness influencers, they are so precise about every single thing they do and they probably have like the best body ever. But remember that it's their job. They dedicate so much time into it that it is obvious for them to have that body or have those many clothes or have like the perfect fashion sense. Whatever it is, it's their job. That is like the positive side. The difficult side is that they have to do it, because when you're creating content around something, you need a lot of content. If you don't have content, then you're like really bad at your job, and then you're going to lose, and then it's just really bad. So I read so much because I have to cater to all of you guys, because some of you may have a very long TBR because of the videos that I make and I recommend so many books, but so many of you guys are looking for your next read, and when I publish videos, you get your next read. So as a content creator, I have to read a lot. Nobody in their normal life reads 7 books in 7 days. That is not realistic. If you are in a place where you are able to enjoy reading slowly and you are able to just read 1 or 2 books a week, be very grateful for it, because that is an amazing experience. And sometimes I really miss that experience where I just sit and I read 1 book for like 1 full week instead of doing anything else or thinking about how I have to make content around it. I know that sounds a little ungrateful or whatever, I don't know, but I do miss it sometimes. When you're making your hobby or your passion into your profession, sometimes the joy of doing it is gone because you make it your job, and that is nothing compared to the reward you get. All of you guys, the connection I have built with you, or the fact that I get to read books for a job, it's all amazing, but it does go away and sometimes I do miss it. Love your videos and recommendations. Do you plan on writing a book someday? Yes, I am. I cannot wait for that day, and I have no idea how I'm going to get there because I'm not a writer. Like I don't even have it in me. Like I don't have that natural talent as a writer. So I have to learn all of it and I have to find my own voice, but I do want to do it. I don't know how many questions I have answered. So this is a very long question which I would love to answer. Fine, this is the last one. Hi Dee, lots of love and positivity. I was waiting for this day and here are some questions. Oh, thank God. Oh, I found your question. Who is your favorite booktuber? I don't have a favorite booktuber because it's difficult to have one favorite person in a community that you love so much. And honestly speaking, I have not watched a lot of booktube videos till like this year, probably because I was always scared that watching their content is going to mess with my voice. It's how I am. Like sometimes when I watch a series, I start acting like the main character. After I watched Wednesday, for a week or 2, I started behaving like her a lot. So I didn't want that to happen with booktube, but then I did start watching some content on booktube, and I love these people so much. First we have Haley. I think that's how you take her name. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. I love her bookish videos so much. Actually, so I found this one video where I found these 3 booktubers. So there was Haley, then we have Sarah. I don't know her second. Sarah Karoli. Yes, Karoli. I hope I'm taking the name out. Oh God. I mean, it's not like they're gonna watch it and like tell me something, but still, I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name. Sarah Karoli, and then thirdly we have Destiny Sidwell. I love Destiny so much. Our reading preferences, actually Haley, Destiny and Sarah, our reading preferences are very different. There are some books which I really love that they don't love, and there are some books that I don't really like but they enjoy a lot and stuff like that. but the way they talk about books and the passion with which they talk about books and Destiny's Week in My Life, they're all just so cute and adorable and so much fun to watch, and they're super duper comforting. I don't have like book girlies and bookish people in my life, like in my real life, so whenever I watch their content, I just feel like I do have some bookish friends, even if we don't talk. But someday I hope we talk. But yeah, then we obviously have Ruthwik. I watch every video that he posts. Sometimes he does not post bookish content, which I have a problem with that. Her name is Kriti. Yes, her Instagram is Krits Reads. I don't know if she'll ever watch this, but yeah, she has recently started her channel and she reads a lot of like classic books also, and that is like really fun to watch, and she is adorable and I love the books that she reads and the way she talks about them. So I watch her. And then we have Smriti, who again I recently discovered. She has a YouTube channel. She does not post a lot, but I do enjoy her content. It's like super aesthetic and nice. So these are the booktubers that I watch. You know what, I should really stop and set up the books at this point. Who is your favorite author? I don't have one favorite author. Who do you like to spend a day with? If I had to spend a day with someone living, it would be mostly Sin. Prajakta Kohli. She's writing a book, you guys, and it's a romance, and I'm like dying to spend a day with her and talk about, like, not a full day, but I do want to talk about her book. Who is your favorite character in Harry Potter except the main ones? Ginny. I mean, I know that Ginny is supposed to be one of the main characters, but they don't even talk about Ginny that much. So Ginny. Which Harry Potter house do you resemble with the most? Gryffindor. I have this alter ego that resembles with Slytherin. I want to be a Slytherin, really, but I just don't. It's not my personality. What can I do about it? So Gryffindor. If your house catches fire, I pray it never happens. Thanks. Which are the 3 books you would take out from your treasury of books? Well, firstly, not 3, but I would take all of the books that you guys have gifted me, because that's just too important to me. And then I would probably leave all of the other books, because I can't choose just 3 books. I mean, so many books. I love them. I can't choose 3 books. I would just leave all of them. Have you read Lord of the Rings? No, I haven't. Lastly, you have impacted my mental health and me a lot. Very, very positive with that. Why is this at the end? Oh, that will be emotional. I think I'm gonna cry now. Stop it. Now we're just gonna set up these books. Okay. Oh god, oh god, oh god. My leg is numb. I have to sit here like this. I've been talking to the camera since a very long time at this point, and now I feel weird. Like suddenly right now, when there was so much silence in the room, I feel weird. Like I'm just talking to myself. I'm not gonna let this go to a weird point. Come on, leg. Okay. My romances, my series, this one shelf which is going to be sort of a mix. The sun is completely down, so I have to end the video over here. But thank you so much for sticking with me for this video, which I don't even know why I have made, and I'm so exhausted at this point. But thank you so much for all of the questions. I had a lot of fun answering you guys, and I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Bye. Bye.